Saturn entered Satabhisha Nakshatra in retrograde position, and till end of December, Saturn will be there in Satabhisha. It will become retrograde to straight, and it will return to poorbabhadrapada in end of December, January 2025. So Saturn is in Satabhisha. Saturn was in Satabhisha few months back also. Then it went to poorbabhadrapada. Then it got retrograde and returned to Satabhisha again. Satabhisha is Rahu Nakshatra. So Saturn is in Rahu Nakshatra, but where is Rahu? When in some previous months Saturn was already in Satabhisha, but Rahu was in Revati. Now where is Rahu? Now Rahu is in Uttar Bhadrapada. So Uttar Bhadrapada is a Saturn Nakshatra. Satabhisha is a Rahu Nakshatra. So not only Saturn entered Rahu Nakshatra, but Saturn entered Rahu Nakshatra at a time when Rahu is already in Saturn Nakshatra. Now, naturally, there are 3 Rahu Nakshatras, 3 Saturn Nakshatras and all. Now, Uttar Bhadrapada is the last sign, center position of the last sign. Last sign is Piscean. Central Nakshatra of last sign Piscean is Uttar Bhadrapada. And if you watch each water sign, that is the Cancer, Scorpio and Piscean, all these 3 water signs are having central nakshatra as Saturn Nakshatra. Like in the center of the Cancer is Pushya, ruled by Saturn. Center of Scorpio is Anuradha, controlled by Saturn. And center of Piscean is controlled by is Uttar Bhadrapada, controlled by Saturn. Exactly the same way, all the air sign, that is Gemini, center of Gemini is Ardra, center of Libra is Swati, and center of Aquarius is Satabhisha. So all the air sign, we know, I have already one video, I think, that there are 3 fire signs, then 3 earth signs, then 3 air signs, and then 3 water signs. So all those 3 water signs, especially 3 water signs, are for moksha, and 3 air signs are kama, fire signs are dharma, and earth signs are artha. Then all the Rahu nakshatras are posited in the middle of the kama houses, that the air signs. That means all the Rahu nakshatra is very desirous. It is center of desires. And Rahu is, you know very well, it is about desire. If your Rahu is sitting in some spiritual nakshatra, if your Rahu is sitting in Pushya, Rahu is sitting in Revati, all those are spiritual houses, so you will be very spiritual. But if Rahu is posited in Satabhisha, Rahu is in Swati, you are extremely desirous person. Means materialistic, you can say. Not only materialistic means not only physical materials, but physical desires also. So although it is always said that Rahu and Saturn are friends, Saturn is the boundary and restriction, and Rahu is uncontrolled desire. By nature, they are just opposite to each other. So many people are having Saturn Rahu conjunct in different places of your horoscope. I think during COVID, there was a Saturn Rahu conjunct during COVID, or just before COVID. There was a time of Saturn Rahu conjunct in Librans. In Libra, there was a Saturn Rahu conjunct for a very short time, and there are some people who are now 56, 57 years old, who has Saturn and Rahu in Piscean. Okay, Saturn Rahu conjunct in Piscean. After that, there are some people who are now approximately 42 approximately age. They are also having Saturn Rahu conjunct, but that Saturn Rahu conjunct is in Leo. 42 to 45, sorry, not 42, 43, 45. Some people are there who are having Saturn Rahu conjunct in Leo. There are some other people who are in their 30s. They are also having Saturn Rahu conjunct, and some other people who are just 22, 23 years old are having Saturn Rahu conjunct. Some people are there with age 32, 35. They are having the Saturn Rahu conjunct in Capricorn, and some are 22, 23, 24 years old. They are having Saturn Rahu conjunct in Taurus. So all these people who are having Saturn Rahu conjunct, something very significant is going to happen in last few months. This is October, November and December of 2024, because during this time Saturn is in Rahu Nakshatra and Rahu is also in Saturn Nakshatra. So 2024, before also Saturn was in Sattvisha. So all these people with Saturn Rahu conjunct in Taurus or Leo or Capricorn or Piscean must be having some significant events happening in their life. Might be significant, positive or negative, but again it is more significant because Saturn is in Rahu Nakshatra and Rahu is in Saturn Nakshatra, and then within few months Saturn and Rahu will be conjunct for a very short period of time. Okay, so uh, in 2025 April, May, Saturn and Rahu will be conjunct for a very short time in poorbabhadrapada nakshatra, that is in Piscean. Okay, in Piscean mid, I think April in April, it is Saturn will be in 0 degree entering the Piscean, and Rahu will be in 2 degree gradually leaving the Piscean, and they are heading towards each other. 2025, which month? April, May. Okay, so both of them are very slow planets, so it will stay there for some time, although that it's a very short time period, because if Saturn was entering a sign and is Rahu was entering from opposite side, it could have made for maximum time 1.5 years. But here Rahu is almost leaving Piscean when Saturn is just entering Piscean in the month of April. So for a short tenure, Saturn and Rahu conjunct will be there in Piscean in Poorbabhadrapada nakshatra, and it will happen, the Saturn Rahu conjunct will happen in Poorbabhadrapada nakshatra in between 0 to 3 degree, 6 degree, 0 to 3 4 degree Saturn, and Rahu is in 0 degree when Rahu leaves Piscean in May only. So 1.5 month approximately, for a very short tenure they will be there in Piscean. So for that short time period, many people from different sign will join meditation or any different kind of spiritual practices. But Purvabhadrapada is having two faces. Purvabhadrapada is having two faces. Purvabhadrapada is having different kind of day life and night life. They have a different face in day, they have a different face at night. So might be the person is not only spiritual, but there is a high chance of having a mixed kind of life very materialistic and very spiritual mixed kind of life, there is a chance of having that, because Poorbabhadrapada is a two-faced nakshatra. So, all the best to anyone who is having Saturn and Rahu conjunct. And like if Saturn is your 10th house, Aries or Taurus, Saturn is your 10th lord, and in 11th house, 10th lord, in 12th house, this conjunct is happening. Then for Aries, you might get a job in a foreign country. For Taurus, you might get a promotion after much hassles or a long wait, something like that, or a dream job in foreign, which you used to dream about, and all these things. I will not predict all for all the signs, because previously I used to give all for current transit. For all current transit, I used to give remedies also. But it happens that a lady who was my client for a long time, she kept some remedy in her mind for so many long years, and it actually caused her trouble, because that transit was for few months or 1 month. So it was meant to, that remedy was meant to do for 1 and 2 months only. So after the transit separates, the planetary conjunction separates, so it is mandatory to remove whatever remedy is being given. I never give stone, but it can be there. I wear crystal of various kind. My latest muse is amethyst with all color, all stones, all chakra stones within it. So not specific, I am not specifically giving. If like Gemini is having, it is ninth lord, might something very important might happen to your father, something very important might happen to your visit to foreign country, or Cancer, Saturn is 7th 8th lord. For Leo, it is 6th 7th lord. So for Cancer and Leo, something very important happening about your marriage, and it depends on whatever you have done in last 30 years, when this Saturn Rahu was there with you. So your Cancer and Leo, and then Virgo, it is your Leo is 6 7, Virgo is 5th and 6th house. If you work very hard, your result will be good in education. If you don't, you are going to get a very big punishment, because Saturn is the judge, and you know, when Saturn is with Rahu, it gives you very harsh judgment. And with Libra, it is your 4th 5th lord. Saturn is it 4th 5th lord, so it is for Librans also, it's uh, very important about education and all. And after Libra, Scorpio, 3rd 4th lord, something very important about your house, car, amenities, your mother, about your skills and all. And it is your 2nd and 3rd house for Sagittarius, so something very important in your family, younger sibling. And in Capricorn, it is ascendant lord and 2nd lord. I don't know, please, Capricorns and Aquarians, don't do anything wrong, be very careful. And for Piscean people, don't spend, never ever spend something, a high amount on anything. Don't, please don't, because only after that conjunction disappears, you may realize that you have done a huge mistake, for which you will suffer rest of your life. Bye, have a nice time.